Good afternoon, everyone. It's another snowy day in the neighborhood. Uh, and of course, I'm wearing my pajamas because where it's a snowy day, I don't want to do anything. So, uh, further ado, uh, I am, uh, today I want to talk about not good or bad staff, but what staff should do and shouldn't do, because a lot of people have asked me about this question, and I've explained a little bit in one of my videos where I had some issue with staffing, with what staff should and shouldn't do, but I can explain a little bit more in this one. So over the years, I've had dealt with a lot of staffing. I've had gone, I dealt with a lot of but some of the staff that I've had weren't bad. I mean, some of them were great. I love the ones that were great. But the agencies that I had, I feel like even some of the management weren't properly trained. For confidentiality reasons, I'm not going to say too much about that, but and to protect people's privacy, and but there are some places where even though staff don't do the right thing, they still keep them on. So, when I was going through a company, I had this one staff person, and she just started out new. She used to work in a group home, and so I thought, okay, well, she is good, familiar with the field, so I said, okay, we'll give it a try. But when I did work with her, I had her shadowing with someone, and I'm thinking to myself, please don't leave me alone with her yet. I'm not comfortable with her. And so there's been times where she's been late. There's been times where but that she doesn't call when she was late. And then she'll show up. Like, let's say she was supposed to be here at let's say 9 o'clock. She didn't show up until about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Like, things like that. She used to come into my apartment and go straight for the kitchen. She would put her stuff in the refrigerator. She would go through all of my cabinets and everything. And I'm like, hello, do you need something? Oh, I just needed a cup of water, or I just needed a fork or whatever for her lunch. And it's like, well, you can at least ask me and I can get those things for you, but you don't go into someone's house and go through their things, and that's just not Right. I mean, you don't see me going to someone else's house and going through their stuff. Uh, oh, well, I just needed a drink of water. No, that's not okay. So, and then she'll be sitting here and, we'll be talking. And if it's not something she wants to talk about, or she wants nothing to do with it, uh, and skipping ahead because I don't want to go through everything. But just the more important ones. So, I want to skip to the part where there was one day I was working with her by myself. I don't think you need all the details, just the important details. So there was one day I was working with her by myself. And so she came in. She was actually a little late, but not to a point where I had to call somebody. But she was a little late anyway. She came in, did the same stuff. She went there, went and got a drink of water, sat down, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. She's just gonna do it, and it doesn't matter how many times I say something to her. She's just gonna do it anyway, and so we sat here for a bit. I was on a meeting, so as soon as I got off that meeting, I forget who I was meeting with, but anyway, that's not important. So we decided we were going to take, a little drive to the beach to kind of get to know each other. The one thing I didn't like was not the fact that she was a smoker, but she chain smoked and the whole car smelled like cigarettes, and it triggered my asthma. So I really didn't like it, but anyway, that's not the point. So anyway, we went to the beach. We sat there, and I'm like, "Are you gonna do your mileage? Why do I have to do that?" I'm like, "So you can get paid? You don't want to get paid? Don't do your mileage." But she knew nothing about doing her mileage. Like, she acted like she didn't know what was going on. Anyway. And then she was telling me about her clients that she had before me or after me, and I'm like, excuse me, but that's confidential. I don't need to be knowing any of that. Okay, anyway, skipping ahead, we we're coming back. We stopped to get lunch. Because I was getting hungry, and I knew Jason would probably be getting hungry around the same time, because he normally gets hungry about the same time. I do, but we're both diabetic, so we both got to eat something. So I stopped. I think it was either it was either Wendy's or McDonald's. I stopped to get us something to eat. And then we drove home. We got back here to the apartment. And so we came inside. I look over at her hands and our bag, and I'm like, excuse me, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just getting your straws out and the napkins and everything. And I'm like, excuse me, but we can do that for ourselves. So technically, I feel she was going in to, she was trying to steal food from us. Basically. But I caught her, so she was trying to make up an excuse. So, okay, moving on. So after we ate, I decided to go grocery shopping because if I had my doctor's appointment in the afternoon, I wanted to do a little bit of grocery shopping, just so I wouldn't have to worry about it, and I gave myself plenty of time to go do grocery shopping. So I went grocery shopping, and this woman kept bumping into me, and I'm just like, can you please get out of my bubble? Oh, the bubble, there's a bubble here. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And so we went grocery shopping, finished grocery shopping, went to cash out, and then she was putting all the food back into the cart. And I'm like, do you think we can bag those before we put them in the cart? Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot. I'm like, okay. And then after that, like, can I at least have the cart or the cane, because I can't walk out without either one of them. So, and then she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you were there. And I'm like, really? And then after that, moving on. Sorry, I don't want to dwell on that too much. We came back here. I think we came back here, put food away, then, I was calling around because, I had a doctor's appointment, but I didn't want to go with her by myself. And so I called the person that was supposed to be bringing me to the appointment, and all of a sudden she was like, well, I'm in the emergency room right now. Didn't anyone tell you that I was here? And I was like, no, they did not. And I apologized for calling her because I didn't know she was there. If I knew she was there, I wouldn't have called her. I would have canceled my appointment. So I apologized to her, hung up the phone, and I called up my doctor saying, well, I can't go in because I had no one to bring me, and I completely missed my appointment, or I was missing my appointment because my appointment was far away. And so, and by the time I got to that appointment, I would have missed it altogether. So, and then this woman is like, I'll take you to your appointment. And I'm just like, you can't. She's like, why not? And I'm just like, because my appointment is over. Oh, well, if we get in the car, we drive down there, we should be fine. And I'm just like, look, my appointment is over. There's no more appointment, so I have to reschedule anyway. The person was not getting it. She still wanted to bring me to my appointment that no longer existed. So I'm like, okay, well, how about we go out for some ice cream? So we went out to get some ice cream, and on a very hot day, I was sitting in the car eating my ice cream, and this woman locks me in the car with my ice cream. It's very hot out, so she can smoke a cigarette. Well, technically, number one, it's a safety violation to lock somebody in a car on a very hot day. Number two, she said she wasn't a smoker, and she locked me in the car so she could smoke. So that's definitely safety, and that is not okay to do to a client. Okay, anyway, moving on. So when I got back here, I sat down with her, tried to play games with her, but she just really wasn't into it. So, and then she's like, "I'm too tired. Go do something. Go sit in your chair. Go do something. I'm too tired." And then she'll sit here and play on her tablet or writing her notebooks the whole time she's here. And then about 10 or 15 minutes before she has to leave, she's like out the door. Like, "Okay, see you, bye." And I'm like, "Did that just happen?" But the thing is that it did happen. I tried calling her supervisor, but nobody answered. And then the supervisor asked me why I didn't want her back again. And I'm like, seriously, I told you guys what happened with her, and you expect me to have her back. Not happening. So that was one bad experience that I had with staff. And there are a few others. I can't remember on the top of my head, but and like with Ian, so it really wasn't a bad experience with him. It was more, I think he was overworked. And he was a young kid, too. But I think that with and he had a second job on top of working with me. So to me, I think if he didn't have that second job, and I think that if he had the proper training, I think that he would have done fine. I mean, he was helpful for the most part when I did have him help me with some things, but other than that, I mean, he wasn't really a bad guy. He was just a young kid. Still maturing, still exploring, work stuff. But like I said, I think that with the proper training, if he still wanted to work in this field, I think he would be a good asset to have. So, I mean, I really don't really have too much bad to say about him, except for not texting while driving, not talking on the phone the whole time you're with the client, and making sure you're staying awake when you're with that client. I think if he didn't have the overnight awake shift, I think he would have been fine. Other than that, I think he was an okay person to work with. It was just like some of those areas he needed to work on. But other than that, I think he was okay. With the other staff that I had that was filling in, there were some things that weren't okay. That just recently, the person that I just had, while my person was on vacation, she was mature enough to know better on these things. If she didn't like some of these things, then why would you want to work in this field? Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it whatsoever. And I was actually talking to someone the other day about it. That if they don't like this type of work, why would you get a job and working in this type of work? Like, I don't, seriously, don't get it. But anyway, moving on. Sorry. I'm not going to stick on this, but moving on. Anyway, so I had to work with this person for through 3 days. The first day was okay because we did a little bit of cleaning and we worked together. But the one thing that caught me off guard was, oh, I don't do laundry. I don't put things together. So she was naming off things that she didn't do. And I'm just like, I didn't say anything. I never said you had to do any of that. So I don't know why she was saying that on the actual first day she was here. But we did do some cleaning, and she did help me with some of the stuff. And then we played a game after before our shift was over. We played a game. The second time she was here, my husband and I ordered out Chinese food because she didn't get here until I want to say between 3:30 and 4 o'clock. But by that time, Jason's usually hungry. He eats supper super early. Usually it's a little bit early for me, but I guess I was a little hungry anyway, so I ordered us dinner anyway, and whatever I didn't finish, I could always eat later. But anyway, sorry, back to the point. She didn't get here until about 3 or 4 o'clock. And then we were sitting here and she was talking about the toll, why she was late because of the tolls. Because they didn't reimburse her for the tolls. And then it's a little bit to get here. And so instead of going through the tolls, she took the back way around. The only difference with the back way is it takes her a little bit longer to get here. So she was complaining about the distance to get here, and it was a long distance for her to come here. So I was just like, okay, whatever. And then she's like, oh, well, I can just sit here and get paid and not do anything. Well, we did play a game until I could figure out what we were going to do. And by the time it got to the point where I figured out what to do, it was time for her to leave. I didn't know she was leaving at this particular time, but so I think that time she left. And then but I thought that was a little weird with her anyway, with all that. But then that Tuesday that she was working with me, she also came in late again. Later than her actual time. So, and she went, I don't know what she was doing, but she came in about, I want to say 3:30, 4 o'clock, about the same time as the past couple of days. And so when she got here, I just kind of explained to her what I was doing. I told her I was making a shopping list of things that I wanted to get at the dollar store because I needed to get some cleaning supplies. And I did get us a couple of snacks at the dollar store. And then we went to Martin's, and to me, I just felt like she was there for her. She was, I think she talked me into going to Martin's. So I was a little upset about that. And then we went to the pharmacy to pick up my husband's medication because it needed to be refrigerated, so I had to do that last. And then I came home. Once I got back here, I'm so sorry, I'm stuffy again. I just blew my nose. I don't know why I'm so stuffy, so I apologize for the stuffiness. Anyway, sorry, back to what I was doing. So when we got back home, we did some, we put groceries away, and I put his prescription away. I put it in the refrigerator. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm hungry. So I had made, I was trying to make dinner, and I burnt myself. And so, actually, I forgot to mention that to Danielle, that she left a few minutes early after I burnt myself. I should probably do that. So, anyway, sorry, moving on. So, I went to make a stir fry in the kitchen, and, because I made pork chops, rice, and a vegetable, I think. So, I went to go make dinner, and I burnt myself with the metal lid. Like I said, on my arm, and like I said, you probably can't see it right now. It's gotten lighter. But it was it was a pretty good burn. And she didn't even acknowledge that I burnt myself. There was no, "Are you okay? Put your arm under water. Did you want me to finish dinner for you?" None of that. Her head was still in the phone. But my husband got up, asked me if I was okay. He had me put my arm under water, and he finished cooking dinner for me. And then all of a sudden, "Oh, well, did you need a break from dinner or cooking?" And I'm just looking at her, and then she goes back to her phone, and I'm like, seriously. When she left early, I was just like, okay. When she left, I'm like, okay, well, I will let them know if I want you to fill in again. It's nice meeting you, da 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 da. And then she left. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no way I'm having her come back here again after all that. The only reason why I said I would was because I was being polite. And I don't deal with conflict very well. When it's my own conflict. I don't deal with it very well. So, that is why I kind of, so then we said goodbye, and she left, and I'm thinking of it, well, and then Danielle was asking me, do I want, oh, I'm sorry, staff, they were asking me, do I want her back? And I said no. I just said that basically it took me a while to respond to her because I was trying to figure out the words, and then when my staff and I were walking around the store, he's like, well, family first, not family first, scratch that. People want, the agency wanted to know if I wanted to have that particular person back, and I said no. I didn't know what to say at first, but I did eventually say no, but, and then we got back, and then I tried dialing, and then, he's like, hang up the phone, and I'm like, why? He's like, just do it, and then, after I hung up the phone, he's like, do you really want her, or are you just saying that? And then I asked my husband his opinion, and then I called them back the next day, and I said that I didn't want her back, and then I told them why I didn't want her back. I asked if I was gonna do Tuesdays, if there's any way I could have a different staff person work with me those hours instead of her, and they're like, yeah, sure, not a problem. So that kind of made me feel better, knowing that I could have somebody else rather than her. But anyway, yeah. I'm going to end this video for now. This video is getting pretty long. If you guys have any questions, comments, let me know, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.